Welcome to Soul Sync.
Welcome to Soul Sync, everyone.
Hello.
Today, we're talking about things that we're going through in our personal life and things that we're coming to realize that benefit us the most going day to day. And Sammy, actually, from her intuition, came up with this and said, Taylor, why don't we talk about the art of slowing down and how important it is in our lives? And I feel like it's so easy to lose touch of that and to forget that in order to be able to go fast and in order to be able to get a lot done and improve and hit PRs and just be the best version of yourself, you have to slow it down. You have to pump the brakes a little bit.
I literally messaged Taylor. I sent her an audio message in the bath last night. And I go, I know it's really late right now, but what if for our topic tomorrow, we talk about how beneficial it is to slow down? Because I feel like the past 3 years, at least for me, have just been so go, go, go. And I've been so driven. I've been achieving so many big goals. I've been working so hard. And one thing that my therapist like always used to say when I lived in Connecticut and I talked to her, she'd be like, Sammy, you got to slow down. Like you got to take some time. And I never really understood what that meant. But since being back from Cali and having that retreat with Michaela and being in her presence just like so many times the past 6 months, she's also really reiterated how important it is to slow down. And I think what I love about her is that she actually gives you the solutions, like my therapist was like, well, just slow down. And she gave like a couple of ideas. However, like, I think I relate a lot to my coach. So it's just like, oh, well, if this is what you're doing, maybe that'll work for me. And I came home and I just found my own like new morning routine, new night routine. I've been having just much different priorities. And I was like, wow, has this just one changed the trajectory of how I feel every day? But two, I'm calling in my manifestations so much more faster. So I was like, the people need to know about this.
Oh my God, 100%. And like you said, calling in the manifestations faster, it's like when you do things with ease,
Mhm.
I feel like you're putting out the energy of ease and things come to you easily and things are attracted to you easily and there's no stress involved and no like time limit on everything because honestly, there isn't. Like some things in life that we can't control, there is no time limit on. So it's really just a matter of like breathing through and respecting whatever place in the process that you're at and just like honoring yourself along the way and just being like, okay, let me look at the big picture of life here. Like, how much can I really control? And I think that is the whole trick to it too. Like when you look at it from a calm, easy mindset, it's like things just come to you.
Mhm.
I love that you're switching up your morning routines in that way too. That's amazing.
Girl, I know. I was running through such a little bad habit before I went to Bali where I just felt really stressed out all the time. So I would wake up and I would immediately check my phone. I'd immediately be trying to post. I'd immediately be trying to talk to my clients. And as much as I want to show up for all of those things, because they're very important to me to give value and give support and build my community, I realized that I was making that more important than me. So I would take on other people's emotions, other people's problems, and be worrying about all these other people instead of worrying about me first thing. So when I was in Cali, me and my friend Tara, we've been holding each other accountable. And when we were there, we loved the idea of doing sage and then Palo Santo afterwards. And lately, we've been saging here. So Taylor knows every single time we do a podcast, we always sage beforehand. And I didn't realize that, yes, that clears the energy. That's great. But it also leaves it a little stagnant, right? You clear out all the energy in your house. So the Palo Santo really brings that good energy in, and I've been religiously doing it since I got back on Monday. And just holy shit, like I feel so fucking amazing. Like it's just such a good way to start my day. So I'll literally wake up, I do a nice meditation. My meditations have also been like 30 to 45 minutes some days. I
Good.
know they're long, but I'm really enjoying it. I'm waking up super slowly. And then I'll go and I'll journal a little bit, or sometimes I just wake up and I just immediately want to walk around and do the sage and the Palo Santo. And then I'm listening to my affirmations while I'm doing it. I think what's really important here is I used to just listen to the affirmations, but then it would be more so background noise. And I really want to start taking control and being more intentional with every single thing I do in my life, including slowing down. So I've been actually saying them out loud, like saying them out loud for the universe to hear, being like, I call in X, Y, Z. Even if I'm listening to something from YouTube, if they're saying affirmations, I just repeat them out loud. And that's what I've been doing every single day. And it's just such a nice way to start my day. And then I notice not only have I been feeling better, but when I do go check my DMs, when I do go check my clients, they're having amazing results too. Like I woke up this morning and I had so many clients that like were sending me their meal prep. They sent me that they went on a hot girl walk. They love their workouts. Like my client Cecilia was telling me, she was like, the muscle growth is growing. And I just love it. Now it's like I feel like my good energy is spreading to everybody else as well because I'm taking the time and I'm slowing down for me.
Oh my God, I love that. I totally know what you mean. Like, I instantly thought of my work too, for whatever reason. Like, when I'm like rushing to work and I have like X amount of time to like get all the hot towels in and like set up the essential oils and make the bed and like do all the things. I'm a massage therapist, by the way, in case anyone hasn't like tuned into the previous episodes. Um, and I'm all like in a tizzy and trying to hurry up like for the client so that they can come in and they can relax and I can like help them relax. And it's like, no, what the fuck? I can't be in such like a tizzy where I'm trying to put them in good energy and put them in like ease and relaxation if I'm not in that myself. So that kind of really taught me that like I do come first in that way too, because like no one else is going to benefit from chaotic, rushing, busy type of energy. So definitely introduce that to my practice too, where before I see any client, before I go out into the waiting room and grab them, I make a point to sit with myself and to clear my energy and to lower, yeah, any stress, anxiety, anything that I'm feeling, and just kind of like clear the whole space and ground myself. And yesterday actually was one of the first days that I showed up to work with a lot of anxiety, like for no reason at all. Like I just felt so anxious and I had that just anxious energy walking in. And I was like, okay, I have like 15 minutes until my client comes in, everything's set up. And I was like, I'm going to go on a walk. So I literally went outside to reception and I was like, I'll be back. Like, I need to ground myself and I need to just like be with the earth for a little bit. And she like didn't give it a second thought. She was like, girl, go for it. Like, get some air, like, do what you got to do. So I went outside, I took my shoes off, I was earthing a little bit and just like totally just melted into that like calm feeling. And then when I came in, it was like a whole different type of massage, like it was a whole different Taylor that was showing up. So the little things like slowing down in the smallest ways can sometimes be the most beneficial too. So I like that that literally happened yesterday and today this is the topic because girl, totally see the importance in that.
Well, Coach Sammy is very proud of you for getting your hot girl walk in. And I think it's so funny, Taylor, because I'm sure you already know this because Taylor is in my 6 week challenge right now. And this is the last week, but we're doing a mini challenge this week where we go outside for a grounding walk. That is the entire idea. You have to go outside, you have to go ground yourself. Lately, I've even been taking my shoes off. So, like, we'll walk around the ponds and I've been taking my shoes off, and I've just been really just like connecting with the earth, connecting with the present moment. And I totally understand what you feel when you were like, I just melt into the calmness. And I think for me, I've talked a lot about my anxiety on the podcast before. There was just a mindset I had of, well, I just need to live with this. This is just normal. But eventually I realized, well, other people don't deal with this. Maybe this isn't so normal. And lately I feel like society, and me and Michaela talked about this a lot in California, but we feel like society is just like starting to normalize anxiety. Like, oh yeah, that's just normal. Everybody should be fast paced. Everybody should be feeling this kind of way. And fuck that. That's not normal. That's not how I want to live my damn life. That's what I know for sure. And I'm sure a lot of people that struggle with the anxiety don't want to live that way either. So I think one of the reasons why we are so resistant to slowing down is because we're worrying that that anxiety is going to get worse, right? But what if it helps us get better and we don't think about that way because we're so stuck in our fears?
Oh my God, 100%. I think you hit the nail on the head with how our society like kind of puts a light on busy lifestyle and super stressful like back-to-back things. And I don't know, even like the coffee culture, not to like like throw shade on that, but like you drink coffee and then you're super like jacked up and you're just like go go go, like okay, now I can get everything done in 5 minutes. It's like, sis, take a breath and maybe like look at your schedule, like look at how like what you're prioritizing before that. So to tie into that, waking up early for me has always been so hard. And when I wake up late, I notice I have to squeeze everything into like a short amount of time before going to work. So you're just like go 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 and you're stressed and you're in that exact energy that we don't want to be in. Like I don't like that feeling either. There's like nothing really blossoms in that energy. It's just very like, okay, I only have time for this. I only have time to think about this or to feel this. So how can you tailor your schedule to something that will allow you to meditate for 45 minutes to an hour? You know what I mean? That will allow you to like sit with yourself for a second before making an important decision or just to really think things through even before doing it. And I was like, well, why don't I just change up my routine and wake up earlier so that I can do that? And it's like little things that we can incorporate or move around to allow that ease to come into our lives. So I really like the fact that you're shifting around your routine because, girl, so am I.
I love how we're always on the same wavelength in that sense. I feel like we are always just low key on the same page, even when we don't know that we are like that. So, you know, one thing that I feel like we can go into a little bit from here is, what do you feel like has been manifesting in your life because of the fact that you're slowing down? These could be feelings, this could be physical manifestations, but have you noticed anything like coming in or changes so far of you just like waking up earlier, grounding yourself? Like, how did it go with that client? Was that the most like magical massage you've ever given?
It actually was. Like,
No way.
yeah, it really was. I was so present during the whole thing and like I just felt like everything was connected
Mhm.
to my client. So like every move, everything, like he kept like making comments during it and just being like that was exactly what I needed, like that trigger point, like just release this, like just did that. And it was like we had so many breakthroughs just during that massage and I couldn't help but think like if I was in that other energy, like before coming into this, I don't think I'd be able to show up as my full self
Mhm.
and be able to give as well a job to him. And it's like, at the end of the day, I want to heal people. So to show up, in a state where I'm unable to do that or can even like affect my client in a negative way, like kind of hurts my heart too. It's like I can just avoid all of that by just showing up as like my clear, authentic, higher self and just, that's how we can really affect people and benefit people. So, yeah, oh my God, that alone is so nice. But things that I've been manifesting through going slow, I think I've been really thinking things through first.
I love
And
that.
like as far as even like giving people advice or giving my boyfriend advice or like friends or family, like I'm able to really like sit in the fact and like sit in silence. I feel like all the answers come to you. And when you allow yourself that time to just like be, and just like sit with yourself, so much comes up that you weren't really able to hear before. And in society, we like to drown things out, with social media, with the news, with music, podcasts, even like those things are great, but sometimes you just need to sit in silence. So that's what I've been kind of manifesting is more answers for myself and more clarity. Have
Mm.
you been manifesting anything with slowing down?
Yeah, maybe. So I kind of want to start with some of the changes I've been making, and they're happening really naturally. And then I'll go into like what I've been manifesting.
Mhm.
So, you know that I've changed up my morning routine. Now, another thing I've added in that my client Nicole actually recommended for me, because I as well work with a lot of healers, right? I want to heal them, but they are also healing others. So it's like on top of living a healthy lifestyle, making sure we're moving our body, making sure we're getting our nutrition in, we have to also focus on that self-care so much more. And she was telling me, she was like, Sammy, you have to protect your energy every single day. She goes, imagine a white light is around you. Imagine a white light is around your social medias, because I do post on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. And of course, sometimes you're going to get not so nice comments, you know? So I've been doing that. But another thing I've been doing, which is just really weird, but I've been saging my phone, believe it or not. Because
Ooh.
sometimes, like, especially as a business owner, you're going to get messages you don't love, right? Maybe a client is like, oh my gosh, Sammy, I love your program, but I just don't know if I can afford this anymore. I will go and sage my phone and be like, okay, I understand. And I'm just saging that shit so that I don't call more of that in. I want to call 5-star clients that want to actually fucking achieve their goals, that can actually afford a program right now. Like, those are my target audience. I want to help people, and you need to have some sort of exchange for that. So I've been saging my phone. Another thing that I've been doing is I've been going for walks in the middle of the day. So I have my one-on-one clients, and I've been going. So some of them have needed like a couple momentum calls because they're either starting a cut. So they wanted to have some clarity around that. They wanted to just talk it through. Or another girl, she was just really struggling with like a new schedule. So we got on the phone and we just talked about, okay, this is our new schedule. When can we fit this in? When can we fit that in? And I've been doing that on hot girl walks, because as I'm moving, I notice like I think better. I'm more creative. I'm more present. So I've been doing that, but I also have been taking walks by myself where I don't listen to anything, because I noticed I was doing exactly what you were saying. I was always listening to a podcast. I was always listening to some sort of music, some sort of background, and it really did hinder those thoughts from coming in. And I didn't notice I was doing it until I did go silent and I started thinking about all these things, and I was like, wow. So I did that. And then the last thing I've been adding in, which was super unintentional, was cold plunges. And anyone that knows me knows I am such a hot water girly. Like, my bathtub is scorching. When Tom and I try to take like a shower, he can't. He needs to wait for me to be done because it's too hot. So doing a cold plunge like 2 days in a row is a really big deal for me. But it's been so amazing. I've been doing it at like 5, 6 o'clock when I'm really done with like at least 90% of my work. And it just feels like such a relief off my back. And since I've been adding, these are very small things in my day. Maybe it takes me 5, 10 minutes for each thing. I not only manifested 3 new 5-star clients within the last 7 days, right? But I've also been manifesting such amazing conversations with my partner, Tom. Like, we've been talking about energy, we've been talking about some of the things I've been seeing, some of the things I've been feeling. I've been having all these major realizations. So, this is a really, really um personal thing I'm about to tell you guys, but I realized yesterday that I high key have a little bit of OCD and I have a lot of paranoia. And I watched this growing up when my mom would like check the house. She'd be nervous about ants. She'd be nervous if there was going to be a flood. We had someone we knew who their house burned down from a fire. So that was something like she was also very paranoid and nervous about. And Taylor, no joke, I will circle my house like 6 times before I leave. And I did not notice I was doing that. Before, I was practicing this mindfulness, this slowing down, this being in the present moment as much and as often as I have been the past couple of weeks and months. I literally will circle my house 6 times. And it's not because I want to. Like, I literally feel like I need to. And if I don't do it, I am like worrying the whole time. So since slowing down, this has been something I've been noticing. And I realized I was like, how much energy am I wasting by circling the house multiple times, worrying about all of these things? So what I did was I circled the house once and then I had to leave. Okay. And one thing that also has been giving me a lot of anxiety about where I live right now is we are by a major highway and we're by a really fast strip where a lot of people will speed, a lot of cops are by. So we hear sirens all the time. And of course, it happens when I'm on my walks, when I'm away from the house. And I noticed that because I was so paranoid about these things happening, I was so paranoid that those sirens were going to be for me for some reason. So yesterday, after only circling the house once and I left, I got the most amazing just proof from the universe. I was right outside and all of the sudden a siren goes crashing by, like you could hear it, and guess what? It was nowhere near me. It was literally like all the way over there on the highway, and it was just so nice because I trusted the universe and I was like, I'm not going to succumb to these fears. I'm noticing that this is happening. And it's most likely happening because I'm going so fast and I'm trying to get out the door so fast that I'm like, okay, well, let me just check one more time. And I'm in that like go, 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 go mode. Whereas when I slowed down, I was like, all right, I checked each corner, like nothing is plugged in that shouldn't be, no candles are happening, no sage is anywhere, it's outside. I saw that. I went outside and then I saw the sirens go by. I was like, holy shit, I manifested that. Like, I manifested that proof from the universe so that now I know every time that the sirens do go by, it really does have nothing to do with me. And I can just tell my paranoia to shut the fuck up. So, that was a huge realization. And it was really, really hard for me because I had no awareness of this. And I was telling Tom, like, I've been telling him a lot of these realizations I've been having lately. And he was like, yeah, I know. Like, I've lived with you for 3 years. I've watched you do it. I was like, wow, I had no idea at all. So,
Oh my God. And it just takes like that one like light bulb moment where you're like, huh,
mhm.
I've been doing this. This is just a normal thing that's etched into my brain now, but you question it. You're like, but why? And what is it serving me? Like, what purpose is it serving?
It's serving
And
nothing.
that's amazing. Yeah, that's amazing that you came to that conclusion, like that breakthrough moment of like, that worried energy and that paranoid energy, like, you don't have to be in that anymore, you know? Like, you can consciously, like, make the decision that that stops today
Mhm.
and to put in, like, effort in, like, taking your time before leaving the house. I really like that.
Thank you. I thought it was really interesting because I feel like when you start to slow down, you do start to realize what is your ego talking, what are your parents talking, what is your old best friend that said some bad crap about you talking, like whose voices are who. And I've been really able to articulate that lately. And something Thomas said is he was like, well, Sammy, like you watched it growing up, and you also have to realize that one, the feelings are totally valid, like these fears are valid, they had happened, you had watched it. However, somebody else was worrying about them. So I never had to, even though I watched it and I was like, that's so silly. Like, don't worry about the dryer. It's probably fine. Like, it's not going to light on fire. Now that I'm the one living on my own, it's all my responsibility. It's all my belongings and the things I love. And most importantly, it's Boomy. That's where I get the most scared. I'm like, my poor cat. What if something happens, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't need to take that on. And I think coming back to being in the present moment, you're able to come back to gratitude. And when you are in the energy of gratitude, amazing things come in, you know? And the universe is going to prove to you that if you focus on what you want, if you focus on what you desire, if you focus on really trying to reshape your thoughts, it's gonna give you that present. It's gonna give you that response back, and it's gonna be the response you actually want.
Oh my God, hell yeah. Being in the energy of gratitude and being in the energy of trust. Like, you're trusting that the universe is gonna bring it. You don't know when it is, you know? Like, if it's something that you want to happen so fast, you know, like, say that you're recovering from an injury or you're sick and you wanna just, like, get back into your routine and, like, just jump back into life and feeling 100%, it's like you put out that trusting energy into the universe of like, I don't know when, but I know eventually I will be 100% again and I'll be able to crush my goals. I'll be able to manifest anything that I want and everything comes to you in due time. So just like allowing yourself the time, allowing yourself the space to just like relax into knowing the fact that things are going to happen when they're supposed to happen also, is so beneficial. And for me personally, like I don't know if all girls have been through this because like we get periods once a month, and if you're anything like me, mine is fucking war. Like I get the worst cramps, the worst headaches, the worst everything. Like it's just terrible. So once like a month, probably for about like a week, I have to practice slowing down. And it's like every month of your life, it's this relearning the same thing of like, okay, I can't hit the gym super hard today because I'm in a lot of pain and I can't, like do certain things because of this. And it's just like working around it and having to do that so much as a female and like constantly like figuring out different things to do and moving plans aside and rescheduling and just like adapting to different things, you really learn the art of that patience and the art of like, I will be able to do this in a couple days. I just have to breathe for now. Yeah, and like get through it for now and slow down. Like that is as far as periods go, like the one thing I've learned is like slowing down and not having any solid expectations or any solid plans and just being able to be loose with certain things is your bread and butter. And not just for girls, but with anything, any setback in life that you have, it's like you just have to come back to trust and come back to the bigger picture and even just like take a step back and look at your life as a whole and be like, you have so much time, like what is the rush? Why are you rushing? Why do you feel all of this anxiety to get everything done right now? It's like, take your time. Like along the way, you might learn things and pick up things that you maybe would have missed if you did go 0 to 100. And you know what? Maybe you would have injured yourself. Maybe you would have hindered your growth, hindered your healing in some way, shape, or form. So I don't know. For me, like that alone, just being a girl has taught me so much of slowing down and the importance of it and like the beauty of it also. So there's hidden blessings in these things
Oh, I
in
can
life.
totally relate.
Mm.
Periods ain't it. But I really love that you are learning this balance of like, oh, well, if I am in my period, if I am really struggling with my cramps, if I am just not feeling 100%, you don't expect yourself to go to the gym or you don't expect yourself to show up for all these plans and be 100% because you're not going to be. And this is something I tell my clients all the time. And because you're in the challenge, when we're on our periods, we're literally bleeding, right? And for the guys that are listening, so sorry. Like, if you can't even hear the P word, okay, grow up. But you're bleeding. So, in a sense, you're losing that iron, right? Just scientifically. And you're not supposed to be lifting heavy. You're not supposed to be doing all of these things. Like, we're actually truly supposed to, during that time, slow down. It's actually recommended that instead of doing strength training, where I have my clients go a lot lighter and we really focus on going slow and controlled, we focus on form, but it's also recommended to do more yoga, to do more work like that, where you're more so like yamasana and you're flowing and you're feeling good and you're just moving your body for the sake of moving your body. And then those other 3 weeks, because you took that time off and you slowed down and you worked on your form and you worked on just getting the movement in, you're going to come back so much stronger because you took that time for yourself. So I think a lot of times we're so focused on like the now and we want this goal, we want this, I want to be feeling this way, yada, 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 yada. but you can still feel all of those things. You just have to wait a little bit, because if you wait, if you give yourself those my period's 4 days. So if you give yourself that 4 days to the week, you're going to show up so much stronger and you're going to be so grateful that you did.
Oh my God. 100%. People forget like what girls gotta go through, okay?
No, and also just speaking of like girly time, when was the last time you've taken a night for self-care? Like, when was the last time you've slowed down in that sense? Because I'm gonna be honest, yesterday I had a busy day. I was up at 6 o'clock, got my workout in, did my morning routine. I did my client check ins. I onboarded a new girl. We had a call. Like, I was go, 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 go. Then I had Michaela's call. I'm in this 7 day program right now. And it's been like literally, Michaela gives us like probably 2 hours of journaling. Like, this is a very intense program. I was up till 11 o'clock doing that. And I had to take a break around 7:30. I had finished my dinner and I told Tom, I was like, I really need protein. Like, I need to hit my goal for 75 hard. I'm 50 grams low. Let's go right now. And we ended up going to Walmart. So we got protein, we got some collagen, which is in my tea right now, so that I'm starting strong. But what I thought was just, I was so proud of myself. And what I thought was so important is I literally restocked on my skincare. I got my makeup because I had a sty a couple weeks ago. So you have to like throw away all your makeup. I even got like some white eyeliner just to like make myself feel good, because I am a fitness coach. So like I really don't wear makeup ever. Like I don't really get put together like that. So it feels so good to like, ooh, I'm going to take 30 minutes to do my makeup and to curl my hair for a podcast, you know? And last night when I came home, I really wanted to immediately just like cook my food and go do the journaling, because I was like, I'm so tired. I just want to get this done. But everything in me was like, no, you need a break first. And that's when I went to take the bath. And let me tell you, this was like the best bath experience I've ever had. Like, if you guys do bath rituals, they're so healing for you. I get like the Dr. Teal's Epsom salt, the Dr. Teal's muscle recovery when it comes to the bath soap, and you make it a vibe. I get all my crystals, I get candles, and it's just such a good way to be present. And guess what came of that? We were literally talking about this topic today, because while I was in the bath, while I was being quiet, I was able to come up with this idea. And I was like, oh my God, this has been doing so amazing for me. Let's go share it. And then I still was able to do all of the things I wanted to do. And I had an amazing journal session. Like, we were scripting yesterday about like what we want the next 4 months to look like and what we feel like we've learned within the MMM method, because I was in Michaela's program for 4 months doing that. And then I was also watching the money thing, doing some of those journaling prompts too. And I felt like because I took that break, I was able to accomplish and achieve so much more. And it
Mhm.
literally was like a 15-20 minute difference. That's just how long I took. It was such a short period of time, but it made such a major difference to my day.
Holy shit.
Mhm.
I love that. That is all it's about. It's like making room for this stuff, you know? And like allowing yourself the time to do this and to be super conscious about it and be super present. And I really love that. It's when it's the most beneficial. What was that?
You know, when you're having your collagen tea and you take that last sip, and like, I don't taste the collagen for a lot of it, but that last sip I always do. But 20 grams of protein in.
Yeah, that's how much protein is in there.
Sorry if you guys had to see that. But yeah, girl, literally collagen is 20 grams of protein per serving. And it's really good for your hair, skin, and nails. So, my girlies, we're talking all about self care. We're talking about slowing down. Why not start or end your day with some collagen tea, baby? Get your hair, your skin, your nails looking, feeling right. Like, literally, my hair has grown so much since I started taking this. I've been taking it because it makes 75 hard a lot easier, getting like 20 grams of protein in first thing. However, I've really noticed like my skin is glowing. I don't break out as much. My hair is feeling a lot stronger. So it's really those little things. It's really slowing down and being like, okay, what can I do for myself right now? What does my body need? What does my heart need? What does my soul need? And everything else that you want is going to come from that.
Oh, I love it. That's so true though. When you slow down, you can stick these things in your like routine and daily rituals, and it's like they pay off in the long run so much. It's
Mhm.
because you're able to like see the bigger picture and like have time to actually do those things.
I agree. And even if you need to like be a little late to something, or you need to take an extra 5 minutes before someplace you were supposed to be. Like, for example, I hopped on the phone and I was all ready, but I did think, I was like, oh, I wish I had some collagen tea. And next thing you know, Taylor's literally pulling out a mug and she's drinking. And I go, is that tea? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, what the fuck? I was just thinking about how I wanted some. And she was like, oh, go make some right now before we start recording. And I was like, thank you so much. I absolutely will, you know? So, like, we recorded a little bit later than we planned, but both of us showed up and it just made, like, it's a great example now for what we're talking about.
Girl, everything happens in like divine ass timing, let me tell you. I love it.
Mhm.
Oh, so slow the fuck down, people. Slow the fuck down.
Give yourself that time. You deserve it and you're worthy of it. And I think that's another thing of why we're always trying to speed up is because we don't feel like we're worthy of that time slowing down. Or maybe we were talked down upon at one point and slowing down was lazy. Laying down on the couch was you're not doing anything. But
Yes.
I've really been working on getting out of that perspective because I remember this affirmation that Affirmation Babe on Spotify talks about, and she goes, workaholism is literally an underlying symptom of mental health disorder. Like your mental health is taking the hit because of the fact that you're working so hard. And that might not just be with work, it could be with life, it could be with your relationships, it could be with even your social life, trying to please all of these friends or acquaintances and trying to hang out with like people every single night and you just don't have that energy. So I
Mhm.
think it's just so much more important to take care of you and anyone in your life that loves you is always, always, always going to understand.
Yes. Oh my God. You're so right. Like we do forget, like we're human beings, not human doings, you know? Like
Ooh, that was good.
I don't know who said that. I definitely quoted someone famous, but it's exactly what it is. It's like we're not machines at the end of the day. Like we're humans. We have to like take some time for ourselves and self-care is so important. Oh my God. And I feel like more and more it's becoming more normalized and people are realizing like, "Oh, I have that option to just like take a whole night to myself." Like that sounds like something I've needed for decades. Like why not try it? So when you don't do that, I feel like you hit exhaustion so much faster and so much easier, like mentally exhausted, physically exhausted, emotionally, spiritually. Like I know we've all felt that at one point where
Yeah.
we've just pushed ourselves to hit a complete wall. And it's like once you hit that wall, the recovery time that you're going to have to go through would have been like the same amount of time that if you would have just taken it to revive yourself
Mhm.
and to just relax and like take that time off, like you're taking it off regardless, you know? So it's like, do you want it off when you're recovering or when you're being proactive and
Mhm.
relaxing? So it's just something to think about in that way of like, if you don't allow your body space and time to heal, you're going to have to figure out how to allow your body time to heal. And so it's just like look at it like that. It is a priority, you know. It shouldn't be an option in your life. It should be something you prioritize. And for me at least, I definitely, same with you, have had such a negative outlook on like the laziness of it, like not being productive enough or not being busy enough means that I'm doing something wrong because it just feels wrong. Like, why do I have time to sit down? It's like a red flag. But it's like, it's not. You're doing so much. You're like planting seeds, you're watering them, you're giving it space to breathe. Even with manifestations, it's the same thing. Like you have this lull period where you're figuring out what you want to do, and then you put it out there and you do it.
Yeah.
So I think I'm definitely gonna try and incorporate at least like one lazy day a week at least. And on TikTok, I've noticed girls are saying like the rotting days. I don't know if you've heard that term. They're
No,
like,
I don't like that term.
I don't like it either, but they're
Oh,
like,
that just sounds icky.
I know. They're like, I need at least one rotting day a week where I can just like sit down and just rot, like do nothing. And I'm like, sis, that's like those are like the watering days, if anything, or like you
Yes.
know, like you gotta water the flower before it can bloom. I don't know. That's what my brain goes to immediately. So I'm like, in order to have energy to do all of the things I want to do and accomplish all the things I want to accomplish, I need to allow myself space for that. And I think everyone does too, because we're not machines. Damn
Mm-mm.
it. We're energetic beings, you
Mm.
know, and energy needs to be recharged sometimes. It can be depleted so fast and
Mhm.
without us even noticing it until one day you're just like spent and you're on 0% and you're like, oh my God, what happened? Like, I have nothing left to give. It's like, because you're not giving anything to yourself.
Yeah, you're totally right. And like at the end of the day, what's really important is we are all beating at the beat of our own drum. So stop trying to keep up with everybody else who is getting burned out and they're prioritizing other things or they're just too busy going through the motions of life and start taking back control of your own life. I think
Mhm.
that's the number one thing I've learned about slowing down, about adult life is that I get to choose and I get to create the life that I want to live. And at the end of the day, to me, working until 11 o'clock at night and never being able to spend time with your family because you're always behind the screen or always feeling so frantic and you're always go, 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 go. Like, I'm going to be honest, that's something that I've really struggled with starting my own business because you are the only person. So you are doing absolutely everything. But I realized that's not the life that I want to live at all. If anything, I want to live a life full of ease, full of joy. I want to be going around my days like it's a motherfucking vibe, romanticizing my life. And in order to do that, you need to take the time for these little things.
Oh, I love it.
I really do. So I guess guys just like really maybe you gotta come and listen to this one again because I really want you to reevaluate where you're at because this is what I did before Bali and this is what I did before California, where I feel like I've made just so many changes in this topic in general. Reevaluate what your life's looking like right now. Maybe go look through your calendar, go look through your planner, think about what your days were looking like. And I want you to be really, really, really honest with yourself and ask, is this serving me? And is this the life that I want to live? Because you get to change your life, you get to change your priorities, and you get to change your circumstances whenever the fuck you want. I came home, I created a whole new routine, and boom, it's like it's normal for me. It took no more effort to do what I'm doing now and being in such a high vibe and prioritizing self care and spirituality than when I was being a little workaholic, putting everybody else before myself. If anything, I have so much more energy. I have so much more vibrancy, and I feel like I'm able to serve and give more value than I was when that's what my main intention and that's all that I was focused on doing, you know? So, really look at your life and see like is this the life I want to be living? And don't be scared if that answer is no. If anything, be excited because now you get to have that awareness and you get to change it.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh my God. I love it. I love it.
Cha-ching. Go do your homework.
Go do your homework, people.
You know
Remember,
what to do now.
recharge your energy. Okay. Do some self-care days. Maybe that's another good homework
Mhm.
assignment. Have a self-care day. Have a do nothing day. Meditate for an hour, you know?
Mhm.
Like they do say if you don't have time in your day to meditate, meditate for even longer or something. Like,
Really?
yeah, like it's so important to squeeze these things in or to just make time for them, period, in your schedule. So everyone has homework is to relax your butt off. Okay.
And
And
enjoy
maybe,
it.
yeah, and maybe change the relationship with the word lazy or not productive enough, or see where you lie in that scale and what your relationship with days off are, because that's how it started for me. And I feel like it could benefit you to take a look at your schedule in that way too. So,
I love that.
yeah. So on that note, everyone relax. Relax yourselves. Kick your feet up and listen
We
to this
believe in
podcast
you.
again.
You know the vibes.
So, you guys know where to find us. Sammy, where can they find you?
Well, I already said all the platforms before. So, you can find me anywhere. It's going to be Sammy Ruess, SAMIRUESS. And on Instagram, there's a little underscore afterwards.
You can find me at Taylor Bavel, BAVL, on Instagram. And we also have our SoulSync SB account that you can follow on Instagram, on YouTube, and Spotify, obviously. We also have an Ask Us Google Docs that, girl, you can ask us anything you want, you know? Don't you want to know about what we're doing?
Yeah, or even recommend something if there's something you're struggling with, or if there's something that you think would be an amazing topic for us. We are always open for ideas because at the end of the day, we're here because we know that there's a lack in this community about the things that we're talking about. And we really want to fill those gaps. So please go ahead and fill that out because we love hearing from you guys.
Yeah, and we need more spiritual besties. So come forward, people.
Thank
Love
you,
it.
universe. More, please.
More, please. So until next time, everyone, go have yourself a self-care day and just know that we love you.
All right. We love you, babes.
Bye.
Bye.